have of me, they aren't my problems. So the idea of being petty or going back and forth, it's so beneath me because I don't have the problem.
Some people that I've kind of helped behind the scenes, and to see them attack, oh, I wouldn't have let him do this, I wouldn't have said that.
Why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it?
Music, the problems that people have with me, they aren't my problems. So the idea of being petty or going back and forth, it's so beneath me because I don't have the problem. And the other, some people that I've kind of helped behind the scenes, and to see them attack. Oh, I wouldn't have let him do this. I wouldn't have said that. Why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? Kevin Hart might be the biggest comedian in Hollywood, but behind that fake little smile and those corny Instagram workout skits, there's a whole lot of shady moves being made. And now it looks like Shannon Sharpe is the latest one to catch the smoke. And we are not talking about petty shade or celeb beef. This is a straight-up power play happening in real time. Shannon Sharpe just lost his $100 million bag, got hit with one of the nastiest lawsuits of the year, and is now being accused of freaky, messed up behavior by a 19-year-old OnlyFans model. But here's where it flips. Katt Williams just stepped in, and he's putting the blame on Kevin Hart. He said what we were all low-key thinking. This wasn't a random scandal. This was a setup. And once you hear the receipts, it all starts to make sense. Katt's been dragging Kevin for years, but now we're seeing the pattern. Every time Kevin wins, another black man gets tossed out of the game. Kevin Hart's been laughing all the way to the top. But what if behind that goofy smile and billion-dollar brand, he's actually been plotting to take down the very men who paved the way for him? Let's not pretend this came out of nowhere. Katt Williams has never messed with Kevin Hart, and he hasn't exactly been shy about saying it. This beef didn't start on Club Shay. That interview was just the climax. Their issues go back decades. Katt was the guy in the 2000s. He had the streets, the stage, the Hollywood buzz. But then projects started disappearing. Roles he was promised suddenly went at Kevin. And to this day, Katt still says Kevin didn't earn his rise. He was put there. Let's be real. Kevin showed up in Hollywood with Soul Plane and somehow fumbled upward. That flop movie should have ruined his shot. But instead, he got a TV deal, back-to-back movie roles, and became the go-to comic for family flicks and corporate sponsorships. Meanwhile, Katt was getting labeled as a crackhead, a meltdown waiting to happen. But here's the plot twist. Katt says he wasn't spiraling. He was being sabotaged. And guess who benefited every time Katt lost a deal? Kevin. Now, fast forward to the 2010. The industry was in full dress-up mode. Remember the wave of putting black men in wigs and heels for comedy? Kevin once said he would never wear a dress. Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, in the industry they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you wouldn't do? For I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. For me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged. So, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on a talk show this morning. I said no to that. Not that that was a dress, but I was like, no, look stupid. The other day, you got to know that you're a brand. Then he turned around and did exactly that on SNL. New Pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee Convention Wallace. Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming. Kevin Wallace, of course, the first African-American, the first female and first child pope. And then what is the new pope doing? A Pope Convention is lifting her arms into her signature muscle man pose. Truly adorable, and everyone loves it. Meanwhile, Dave Chappelle had just gone viral telling Oprah that he refused to wear a dress because he didn't want to be used as a prop to make Hollywood executives laugh. You put this dress on and my prostitute. Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with it. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the grace is done, it's kind of hacky, right? You're a writer. So, why don't we just not do it? 'Cause I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We were supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. Huh. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. So when Kevin popped out in a dress right after that, Katt saw it as confirmation. Kevin wasn't just a sellout. He was following the script. Things didn't stop at the dress. Back when Katt was at his peak, Hollywood started pushing a narrative that he was on drugs, unhinged, unreliable. But if you look closer, most of those rumors came from PR circles, not police reports. Then in an interview on The Breakfast Club, Kevin basically blamed Katt for his own downfall. Good or bad, my frustration with Katt Williams comes from you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot. Katt was in that position. You were the guy. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You off promo shoots. You off your promo __. A trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studiosing with you. He didn't stop there. Why was he a risk? He chose, okay. Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what? I got to fix me and I'ma come back and I'ma stand up for comedy. But why was Kevin going so hard after someone who wasn't even competing with him anymore? That's where the conspiracy kicks in because fans believe Kevin wasn't just defending himself. He was erasing Katt. Let's be real, the industry loves a puppet. And Kevin, he fit that mold. But Katt didn't let him get away with the drug accusations. I'm 44 years old. I get my blood tested every 3 months for the last 15 years. All narcotic tests have come up 0%. You look up my rap sheet. I've never had a DUI or a possession of anything. See, when you Rialo, you can tell the truth about anything or anybody. Answer to no one but God. It got so deep that Katt even said movie roles written for him were handed to Kevin after he refused to do scenes that involved SA or humiliating black men. One example, Friday After Next, Katt said they tried to make him film a scene where his character gets assaulted in a bathroom. He refused, stood his ground, and what happened? Blacklisted. Kevin, who reportedly had no problem doing those types of scenes, got the next batch of offers. Okay, now fast forward to 2024. Katt Williams hops on Club Shannon Sharpe's podcast and gives the most viral interview of the year. And the moment that had everyone clutching their pearls was when he started going in on Kevin Hart again. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show. There being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Katt called Kevin a plant. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. Then he really went after him. Kevin told you he wasn't going to wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? Now, most people expected Kevin to respond directly. He didn't. But weeks later, during an NBA broadcast, Kevin Hart started making bizarre, seemingly random jokes about Katt. Another fun fact about the New York Knicks, I don't know if you guys know this, but Katt Williams bought the Knicks. He definitely bought it. He bought the Knicks and it's rumored that he took the Knicks back, returned them with a receipt. Yeah, you could do that. You didn't know you could do that. The first person ever did. Oh, if they gave him a 30-day policy. He bought him for 15 days and returned. Yeah. That's another fun fact about the New York Knicks. He made the team. He played with the Knicks. He played with them. We know he fast. They say he fast. He runs us one of the fastest. 3-9. What you saying? 39. You figured out how to play basketball from reading all the books. 3,000 of them. 3,000 a year. That's 2 a day. Yeah, at 6 years old. Fans clocked it immediately. This was Kevin Hart trying to mock Katt and send a message, but nobody expected that Shannon Sharpe would be the one to get caught in the crossfire. After the Club Shay episode went viral, Shannon's life started to spiral. Some people that I've kind of helped behind the scenes and to see them attack. Oh, I wouldn't have let him do this. I wouldn't have said that. But you know what? It took me a long time, Cam. Because when you play sports, you understand. Suddenly, Shannon started losing deals. Potential guests backed out last minute. Big brand partnerships vanished. They're going to have a little resentment towards you because you're beating a team or certain fan base is going to feel a certain type.